There is a figure walking away from the warmth of the village fires. He moves toward the mountains, toward the cold mist and the damp stone of a cave. He carries 2 swords at his belt, but he has no intention of drawing them against another man. He is walking away from comfort, away from praise, and away from the noise of the world. He is going there to die. But he is not sad. He is not broken. In fact, for the first time in his life, he is entirely complete. This is the image you must hold in your mind when the silence of your own room feels like a prison. You look at your phone, desperate for a notification, a like, or a message that proves you exist. You feel the crushing weight of isolation, and you call it loneliness. You think it is a sickness. You think it means you have failed at the social game of modern life. You are wrong. This feeling is not a cage. It is a chrysalis. It is the necessary fire that burns away the boy so the man can be forged. We are looking at the final days of Miyamoto Musashi. By the time he climbed Mount Iwato to live in the Regondo cave, he was undefeated. 60 duels, 60 victories. He was the greatest swordsman Japan had ever known. He could have lived in a palace as a retainer to a great lord, surrounded by servants, admirers, and students. He could have spent his twilight years drinking sake and telling stories of his glory. He chose the cave. He chose the damp rock and the silence. Why? Because Musashi understood a truth that modern men have completely forgotten. He knew that the ultimate mastery was not over the sword, but over the self. And you cannot master a self that is constantly diluted by the opinions of others. In that cave, weeks before his death, he wrote the Dokkodo, the path of aloneness. It was not a will distributing his possessions. It was a list of 21 laws for the spirit. It was his final gift to the men who would come after him. Men like you, who are lost in a world that demands you fit in. The first lesson of the cave is the distinction between loneliness and solitude. These 2 words are often used interchangeably, but they are enemies. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. It is a craving. It is a hunger for validation, a desperate need for someone to witness your life so you feel it has value. Loneliness is a state of poverty. It says, I am not enough on my own. Solitude, however, is a state of power. Solitude is the glory of being alone. It is the realization that you are a sovereign nation unto yourself. Musashi wrote, "Do not seek pleasure for its own sake." He was not a monk in the religious sense. He was a warrior. He understood that chasing dopamine, chasing the fleeting high of attention or sensory comfort, makes a man weak. When you cannot sit in a room by yourself without reaching for a device, you are a slave. You are saying that the chaos of the digital world is more important than the order of your own mind. You are afraid of the silence because the silence tells you the truth. In the silence, you hear your insecurities. You hear your failures. You hear the mediocrity you have tolerated in your own life. This is why you run to the crowd. This is why you turn on the music, the podcast, the video. You are drowning out the voice of your own conscience. Musashi went into the cave to amplify that voice. He wrote, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." This is the antidote to the ego that requires constant feeding. When you detach from the need to be the main character in everyone else's story, you finally become the master of your own. You must understand that walking alone is not about hating people. It is not about becoming a hermit who despises society. It is about emotional autarky. It is about self-sufficiency. If your confidence depends on a compliment, your collapse depends on an insult. You are a puppet, and the strings are held by anyone who chooses to speak to you. The warrior cuts those strings. He walks into the market, he interacts, he leads, he loves, but his core remains in the cave. His inner state is immutable. How do you build this? You cannot simply decide to be mentally tough. You must train for it. You need a protocol. You need to simulate the cave in a world designed to keep you overstimulated. We call this the 7-day blackout. It is a rejection of the dopamine drip. For 7 days, you are going to remove the artificial validators that prop up your fragile ego. First, you cut the cord to the digital hive. No scrolling, no posting, no checking to see who viewed your story. You disappear. You will feel an itch, a phantom vibration in your pocket, a spike of anxiety. This is not boredom. This is withdrawal. You are an addict, realizing how dependent you have become on the approval of strangers. Let the anxiety burn. Let it sit there. Observe it as if it were an enemy swordsman looking for an opening. Do not give it one. Second, you will eat alone, and you will do it in silence. In the modern world, a man eating alone stares at a screen to hide his shame. He needs to look busy. He needs to look occupied. You will simply eat. You will taste the food. You will look at the wall. You will exist in the present moment without needing to be entertained. This sounds trivial, yet it is one of the hardest things for a modern man to do. It forces you to be with yourself. If you cannot stand your own company for 20 minutes over a meal, why should anyone else enjoy it? Third, you will institute a period of absolute stillness. 20 minutes a day. No meditation apps, no guided voices, no ambient music. Just you and the air in the room. You sit and you stare into the dark. Musashi wrote, "Accept everything just as it is." In those 20 minutes, you accept your thoughts. You do not fight them, and you do not follow them. You watch them float by like leaves on a river. You realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of them. This is the birth of the watcher, the detached consciousness that allows a warrior to remain calm when the steel is drawn. The world tells you that isolation is dangerous. They tell you that a man who spends too much time alone is plotting something or is mentally unwell. They say this because they are terrified of what happens when a man unplugs from the collective programming. A man who is comfortable in solitude is a man who cannot be manipulated. He does not need to buy things to impress people he doesn't like. He does not need to adopt the latest political slogan to feel part of a tribe. He is dangerous because he is free. When you practice this solitude, you will find that your relationships actually improve. This is the paradox. When you no longer need people to fill a void in your soul, you can appreciate them for who they are. You stop using people as batteries to charge your self-esteem. You become a source of strength for others rather than a parasite of their energy. A lighthouse stands alone on the rock, battered by the waves so that it can guide others. It does not run to the ships look to it. Musashi died in that cave, but the spirit he forged did not. The Dokkodo ends with the line, "Never stray from the way." The way is the path of the individual who takes full responsibility for his existence. There is no savior coming to fix your life. There is no mentor who will do the push-ups for you. There is no partner who can heal your trauma if you refuse to look at it. You must walk alone. Even if you are married, Even if you have a legion of brothers, there is a part of the path that is single file. The battles that matter most, the battle against laziness, the battle against fear, the battle against the voice that says, "Give up," are fought in the silent chambers of your own skull. So do not fear the empty room. Do not fear the Saturday night with no plans. Embrace it. Step into your cave. Light the fire of your own discipline. Strip away the noise until all that is left is the truth. If you can walk through that valley of silence and come out the other side, you will not just be a man who survived. You will be a man who rules himself. And he who rules himself is greater than he who rules a city. The path is open. It is narrow. It is steep. And it is lonely. Walk it.